Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
shapes, and we're twisting them into different shapes.
We're drawing all the shapes.
All the shapes.
Any shape you could ever imagine.
We're trying to do this very important drawing exercise.
Well, hey, don't forget also to click that subscribe
Oh my
button and
gosh.
check out #Drawbli on the .coms.
On
you
the
know?
.coms.
Anyway,
Check it out.
yeah, we're drawing simple shapes.
Yes.
And how's that been going for you during our warm-up session?
Pretty good. You see, I've got these cylinders with these little faces.
I do.
I'm trying to draw one that's twisting around, but
Twist hard, huh?
oh yeah, he's sad because he didn't get twisted the right way.
Simple manipulations of simple objects. So things like twisting, pinching, bending, stretching, all those things. Because these are like the fundamentals.
Right.
And
you
it's
gotta
important
get to your
to.
fundamentals.
Yeah, you gotta. They're the most important things.
We
So
don't
I've
do a lot of
heard.
that.
I've
Oh,
heard.
yeah. Oh,
this
yeah.
Before.
I think that's entirely what your whole shtick, your whole courses seem to be based on.
It is
Hello.
because it is indeed the most
Let's
important
get
thing,
down
and it's
to
not
basics.
something. It's not really something that we practice a lot ourselves.
No, it is not. I started with a very basic cylinder. I gave him a little inchworm look of a cylinder. I tapered him. I gave him a little divot. And now I'm trying to get a little more complicated. What are you on? Are you still on cylinders, or did you move over already to something else?
I'm just kind of jumping around, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not really doing any one shape in particular.
Gotcha.
I've done some spheres. I started with spheres, and now I'm doing some cylinders.
If we can master these things, then we will be able to draw anything.
If you can draw a box, you can draw anything.
That's what they say. That's like that draw a box website.
It is. I think their slogan, if I'm not mistaken.
I like the idea of drawing cylinders because I've seen some tutorials that are like, hey, to draw an arm, you gotta be able to draw some cylinders.
This is true, yeah. I agree with this.
With a
sentiment.
little sphere for your little joints, and then another cylinder. Can give it some taper.
Another one.
Another one.
Check out my cool little chute that I made here.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I wonder if I can draw a bendy chute. When I was young, my mom used to make us a lot of homemade Play-Doh. And so I'd make these magic mountains out of it, and I would always try to
Wait,
build
hold on.
into
A
it.
magic mountain? What is a magic mountain?
Well, you take your pile of Play-Doh,
Okay.
and you put it in as a mountain, and you like carve little like chutes into it, like little tunnels and ridges, and then you make another little ball out of Play-Doh, and you roll it through all the little tunnels and ridges.
Oh.
Yes, as a child, I was endlessly
Like a marble
fascinated.
race.
Yes, but it had to be really smooth because you were trying to roll Play-Doh down Play-Doh.
And Play-Doh doesn't roll very well.
Not
I
super
assume.
well on its own self, so that you had to be a really masterful technician and Play-Doh architect to
And
be
were
able
you
to...
a master?
Absolutely, I
Okay.
was.
Yeah, just making
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah. I mean, I figured.
Yeah, of course. But it was fun.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember Play-Doh. Mm-hmm. Did you ever taste Play-Doh when you were a kid?
It's very salty.
Yeah, why is
very
that?
salty.
Why was it salty? What was
Because
that
I
about?
think it uses a lot of salt.
Why? Like,
I
guess-
don't know. I don't know what the recipe
the secret
is.
the secret recipe.
The secret recipe is tons of salt.
Apparently.
I always like getting it because my mom made it, so it was really cool to play with it while it was still warm from the stove.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait,
It was
what? Did you say your mom made Play-Doh?
Yes.
How do you make what? You can make Play-Doh? You can just
She would make
do it on your own?
massive amounts of it.
That's
and put
crazy.
It in bags,
That's
and
so
then
cool.
So then when it dried out, it wasn't like a big loss or anything.
I did not know Play-Doh's secret formula was so simple.
I don't remember what's in it. I feel like there's. Why do I want to say there's flour in it and obviously salt?
So that's why
It must be salt.
That's why it tasted so good.
So good, yes.
I mean, I just ate that stuff left and right.
Oh yeah. All right, but I've made my cylinders, and now let's try some spheres. Let's try that.
My my brain, I have to really concentrate here
There's
for
my
some of these
basic sphere.
shapes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of tough. You really got to think about how it revolves in the three-dimensional space. Gosh, can't we just go back to 3D where it does it all for you guys? That's so much easier.
This is hard. Perspective is not something I consider myself to be very good at yet.
Oh, I think perspective's super tough. I mean, even understanding and knowing the fundamentals just like isn't enough. You gotta really practice it.
Yeah, to be able to actually draw something accurately in perspective.
You want to get to that intuitive stage.
Tough. Yes.
Or
Where you're
at
just like, it just goes here and there. Now it looks right.
I mean, in all honesty, and I don't have like a ton of room to speak, but I think perspective is one of those things where you can be close enough on most things, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. From my experience working with a lot of 2D artwork, you know, as a 3D artist that translates a lot of 2D things to 3D, like even really highly skilled professional artists mess this kind of stuff up all the time.
Yeah.
Like I will have to, you know, make things actually work in three-dimensional space that do not work.
It's totally different there.
The,
you can
the
cheat
3Ds.
things.
You can cheat things,
in
yeah.
2D.
And it looks close enough, right?
It looks great, yeah.
It looks great. I mean, your drawings look great. I like your little caterpillar guys.
Thank you.
They were a lot of fun. I wanna give my little. This kind of looks like a little ladybug or something.
I like it.
I don't know. I'm not giving my shapes character. Like they're just gonna have a character on their own. They're just gonna be that good of shapes.
I'm just gonna draw this shape, and now I'm gonna give it dimension.
Oh my gosh, you can do that?
I guess. I
So-
don't think there's any rules here in this world.
So there's an exercise called the bean exercise, and anybody who's drawn, you know, really anything or got semi-serious about drawing is probably familiar with it. And I'm sure you've heard of it, but maybe not known it was called the bean exercise. You just do exactly what exactly what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And then you draw some contour shapes around it.
Oh.
Typically, you just keep it pretty simple, at least in the beginning, you know, just a couple spheres like squished together into something, which is kind of what I got here. Just like a weird amorphous shape.
Precisely what I have.
Yeah, you have a weird amorphous shape. Good job.
With a face.
Oh, you have to give it a face.
Gotta
That
give it a
is
face.
number one rule of the bean. But you have to be
Face.
careful that your bean doesn't end up looking like a bean, because mine...
Oh my gosh, Ben.
I just realized that mine did.
Oh no.
I've done it.
Ben.
I didn't mean to.
Ben.
It's just kind of hanging down there. And
Stop.
We're just gonna move him off screen.
Oh my
We're gonna pretend like he
gosh.
doesn't exist
Oh
anymore.
my goodness.
I didn't mean to. Look,
I'm
it just
sure it happened completely by accident.
it was a total accident. I cannot help it. Look, the art. I don't speak for the art. The art speaks for itself.
Yeah, the art's speaking something there.
The art speaketh through me, Abby. I am but a vessel. The art flows through me.
And ends up looking like that.
I have no control
No
of it.
control. Oh my gosh. Well, my very PG beans over here.
PG Beans. That
PG
is the
Beans.
PG Beans is the name of this episode. 100%.
We're keeping it PG today.
PG
Or we
Beans.
were. Ben already messed that up.
It's not my fault. It's the art's fault. Look, art shouldn't be censored, okay?
You're right. That was great art. That was like this statue of David.
Oh yeah.
Can't be censoring
totally
that.
on par with David.
Right. It's the
Love
same
it.
logic, you know.
I am actually liking this exercise. It's really fun. You know, the more amorphous my shape becomes, the harder it becomes to kind of divvy out some contour
Yeah.
lines there.
I just drew myself a very amorphous shape just to see like what it's like
Ooh,
to actually try to do this on
ooh,
something
yeah.
really difficult.
Very nice.
And guess what?
Guess what?
Is real difficult.
It is.
Like-
It is pretty hard. But I got like a weird like slab of meat or something going on over there. I think the more amorphous, the better. It's harder that way. I like your shape though. That's cool.
Thank you. I wasn't sure what this little wobble on the end would end up being, or what
You
direction.
gotta let the art speak for you. Exactly.
I wasn't.
It
sure
kind of
what
looks like it
direction
could be like a
go.
root, you know, like an
I think it's like an elephant.
Oh, he's an elephant, of course. How could I not tell?
This is a fun exercise though.
It is, yeah.
Try it at home.
Try it at home. #Drawbli. Share your amorphous bean shapes.
Drawbli
But
for drawing at home.
keep it PG.
Keep it PG.
I mean, but also, guys, let the art speak for you.
But mostly let the art speak. Let your voice be heard through your art.
Just like me.
Just like this
Be like
elephant.
Be like me.
Be like Ben and draw the things.
Oh, you know what? Actually, this is now open up top. You know, it's a little bag, and there's some treasure deep inside here.
Ooh.
What kind of treasure? Reach in and find out.
I'm drawing a wave.
Oh, wow. You are coming up with some really cool shapes over there. I need to step up my game.
I feel like I can draw anything now. What should I let's see.
I feel like that is the point of this exercise, in fact, is
my confidence is just through the roof. Oh, except that's not really in the perspective. Now that I'm actually trying to do more complex things, I'm realizing, ooh, perspective is rearing its more ugly head and saying, hello, this is actually not as easy as you make it out to be.
Yeah, you thought this would be simple, but it's not.
No.
Yeah, we did, I can't remember his name, but the really popular perspective course a long time ago, and we just kind of did it for fun. I'm sure somebody probably knows down in the comments, but I cannot remember his name. Starts with an M. I think he's on, Stan Prokopenko's YouTube channel. He does like a podcast with him.
It was an excellent course.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was like one of our first times drawing together. I
know.
think.
We hadn't probably even known each other too long by that point.
You're like, this weirdo wants to draw with me?
I was like, oh my gosh, he
What?
wants to draw with me. I felt so lucky. I was like, oh, this is so good.
The master artist Polygon wants to draw with me.
I don't think that was that was not my thought train. I was just excited to be with somebody who liked art and drawing and thought that sounded like a fun thing to do on a Saturday because I did too.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I thought so.
Me too.
We got some fun hobbies that we like to do together. I'm so glad that we both share a lot of, similar
We
interests
really
and hobbies.
do. I think that's because, too, both of us are very open-minded to new experiences. Both willing to embrace and try new things like rock climbing, learning Japanese.
Yeah, we got quite a few.
Japanese is quite the hobby now. Wow, it takes up a lot of time. Oh my goodness.
So this morning,
my
Abby and
gosh.
I, so there's this tool that we use to study kanji, which are the fun Japanese characters that many of you are familiar with. And then there's another tool that I mainly use, but Abby has been using more as well to study grammar. And Abby kind of slacked on that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when she came back to it,
it's so hard.
it is very hard. She came back to a giant pile of lessons that she had to get through. Because it uses this system where you kind of, get reviewed on it over time. It's called SRS. It's not important. But anyway, this morning I spent a long time with Abby going over all of this. And she walked away from it nearly in tears.
No, I did not. What I said was, I said, you know what this reminds me of, but not in any way a mean way. I was like,
Not in a mean way.
I was like,
but
all of our friends used to talk about like, oh, doing math at the kitchen table with your dad, where when you're a kid that can be a little overwhelming.
And why is that?
Because your dad typically
knows all the math.
and he doesn't get why you don't get it.
You stupid child. How do you not, what did you say?
And I
How do you
don't
not
mean-
know
I
that
don't-
5 plus 2 is 7?
And I don't mean my dad personally.
fool.
I don't think I had this experience with my dad. It's almost like
Your
meme.
dad who loves our show and watches it.
I don't mean my dad personally, but it's more of actually a memed experience of, oh my gosh, doing math at the kitchen table with your dad and how hard it can be.
Yeah, I don't remember doing math with my dad or my mom really all that much.
No? Huh.
Well, I was homeschooled
briefly. Yeah.
Well, not briefly.
Not briefly.
You were homeschooled the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole dang time.
Didn't know a different one.
I was homeschooled from let's see, 2nd grade to 8th grade. So 6 years. So about half of or maybe a little more than half of my public or education, let's call it.
Yes.
One thing that homeschooling is great for, though, is you get to learn early how to teach yourself. You get to learn how to learn. which is
autodidactic. That was the word for it.
Okay, let's calm down, big brain.
Well, I learned that word, and I was like, oh,
I
this is
learned
what
that
I do.
word in homeschooling. Unlike you public school idiots.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, that's a big word. You said another big word earlier, and I was just like, gosh.
Oh, I think
So
you were
smart.
clearing the counter, and you were coming over to the sink with a handful of crumbs, and I said you had to divest yourself of your crumbs.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
something?
That's right. Abby thinks that she lives in a like Brandon Sanderson fantasy novel, and she's like, "You must divest yourself of the crumbs in your hand." Like,
Keeps life spicy.
I'm into it. You know, I get to expand my vocabulary.
Although I will say our friends had a word in a little group chat the other day, and they were like, what do you all think the noun version of satiated is?
I was not going to touch the look.
And
it
all-
was clearly a domestic argument that I was not going to get involved
We all,
in.
clearly it was a couple, yes. Well, we all proceeded to roast them for being that concerned with a word that literally nobody
Never comes
uses.
up in normal conversation.
I was
literally,
like,
ever.
it's this because I Googled it.
Because I googled it,
Apparently there were
like you
two,
should have done.
There were two noun versions of the word satiation and
Satiety.
satiety. Wow, I think that,
Satiety.
and the first one, satiation, was the one that I found when I googled.
Here
it. I
on
was like,
Drawbli,
that
we
sounds
just
right.
have the most interesting conversation.
This is interesting. Anybody who's listening right now is actually like on the edge of their seat. Like, well,
Oh
which
my
was
God.
it? Satiation or satiety?
And which one was it, Abby? Do you remember?
Well, I choose. Well, that was.
Well, I
the-
choose. It doesn't matter what you choose.
No, but apparently they both can be used as a noun version. But everybody was like, well, which one is the better version? I guess.
Oh my gosh.
And I prefer satiety.
Wow. Fascinating.
I thought it was fascinating, but also mostly I thought it was silly. But it was funny that they were like very concerned. I think they were just being funny too.
How's your shapes over there coming? Are you feeling like you're at a pretty good stopping point almost?
Yeah, this has been fun.
This has been fun and also quite challenging. But you know what? I'll be honest, the more I've done it, the easier it has become.
Yeah, I feel like I can address any shape now.
Any shape, guys. Name a shape. Circle. That's a flat one. That one's easy. Look, I can even hold it down and just circle. Super easy.
Yeah.
Sphere? Oh, check out this. Oh, look at that. Now it's 3-dimensional.
3-dimensional.
I'm
Wow.
doing it. I'm drawing. I've
proud.
finally achieved. Here on Drawbli, we've finally done it. We've achieved greatness.
Yeah.
Shape mastery.
Now, if only I could apply this knowledge like in the moment when I'm like drawing an actual picture and I want to represent something that's not just a random object in a random space. Next, you know what this means is sometime we're going to have to sit down and practice putting these objects into specific places.
Well,
we can make
on
a
our
desk.
next episode of Drawbli, the plan is to draw some randomly generated animals. So, at least that's the idea that I came up with. Because we haven't done that one in a while, and I really like that one.
I thought I drew more things than this, but
Your things look amazing.
thank
All right,
you.
here. Let's. I'll draw one more shape. You draw one more shape, and then we'll call it here. But you got to make your last shape really good.
Oh
It's
no,
got to be
so much pressure.
a great shape.
Okay.
The best shape you could possibly
oh my
draw.
Gosh.
Think of all the shapes.
Think of all the shapes. I'm gonna draw this guy. He's got an arm.
Oh, I messed up because I do not have enough elbow room. Abby and I sit very close together.
It's very cold in the office, so
It's-
I'm very close.
also, we sit hunched over the microphone here.
Just very close to one another. I
have
think
to, it's the
if
only
I draw these lines going this way, it's going to make his head look farther
Oh,
away.
my shape's horrible.
Your
All right,
shape's not horrible.
We're gonna pretend that shape was not the shape I was going to draw. We'll do a better shape.
You can do it.
Ooh, oh, you got like a guy there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
missing
yeah.
a leg. It looks like.
I know. I think I'll just make it a cylinder that's like cut off there. Yeah.
All right, I'll also do a random kind of squiggle. Honestly, I think that's like a fun way to practice this. Just draw a random squiggle and then go in on it.
I think
At least,
where I've ended up is really fun.
at least in my experience here within the past 25 minutes.
We're pretty advanced at this
Kind
stuff
of like
now.
a pro drawer. Oh yeah, I've mastered the
This
art.
is such a cool exercise.
It has been really cool. Do you want to share some of your shapes with me?
Yes, I do.
Can I see some of your
Yeah.
your shapings?
Some of them I accidentally shrunk down real far, but here, take a look. Take a little look-see.
Let's take a little look-see at your shapes. Yeah, here, let's trade. You look
Okay.
at my shapes, and I'll look at your shapes. Your caterpillar guys are... Oh, gosh, this poor derpy fella.
He's
really
I like
fun.
your sphere here. He looks so concerned. Oh, you did a
you
good
did-
job bending that.
Ooh,
and
your little
flattening that.
cinched... I love your cylinders. They're so... Oh, this guy's
Oh, I
so
like this
sad.
bendy one here. Yeah, that guy's did not end up good in that corner.
I love how you gave them all faces. Oh my god. This actually looks like the Forever Alone face. If you're familiar with
Yes.
that. You should put a picture of that up on screen next to
No,
this
everybody
thing.
knows what that looks like.
Okay, he's pretty scary. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I like this. This looks like a dress form in a mannequin shop.
You did such a good job with these. Mine are so sloppy and yours are so clean.
Oh, well, thank
I
you.
gotta learn to draw better like Abby.
Aw.
One day. One day. Well, hey, thanks for joining us as we draw some.
Oh, some random shapes. Definitely join us soon on these.
Yeah, you can share your random shapes online using, of course, the hashtag Drawbli, and click the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. And this is the part where we say
Goodbye. This was so fun. I like how these guys turned out.
You liked how your guys turned out?
Yeah, and yours too.
I'll have to go back through and just give each one a little face. I think it'll be very much worth the time.
Absolutely.